Today on Tight Loops, Tight Lines, we're going moose hunting. We're at Marcha-Milco Outfitters in Newfoundland, Canada.
Marcha-Milco Outfitters was formed by Brad Marchand and Kevin Miller of the NHL Boston Bruins. Both are avid hunters who have just started in the outfitting business, and Hines Lake is their first lodge. The lodge is located just west of Buckens. It's easily accessible, and you're about a 2-hour drive from two major airports.
Hunting is one of our favorite outdoor pastimes when the fishing season ends. We will spend the next 3 days at the lodge. Terry's the manager at Marcha-Milco Outfitters and has just completed a successful first season of clients. I have a bull-only license this year. It's late in the rut and our fingers are crossed that we can find a moose.
It's our first morning out. We're up bright and early. Not exactly Kastine's favorite time of day. We are heading to an area I know has a couple of moose. But before we get there, a moose runs across the road in front of us. I was pretty sure it was a cow, but wanted to stop and spend a few minutes there just to check it out. We made a few calls, didn't get a response, and decided to move on. We continue on, heading towards the area I want to do some calling. Side, but we'll try to call him over.
It's late in the season. The rut is almost over, but I'm hoping we can get a bull interested enough to show. Conditions aren't ideal. We have wind and rain, which even in the peak of the rut would be tough.
Kastine is really looking for a smaller bull. The one here that I've seen has 10 or 12 points, so I'm not sure she'd take him even if he showed. I was hoping maybe a smaller bull had moved into the area.
I find that the meat from a young bull has a less gamey taste. It's what the kids and I enjoy the most. The funny thing is that when you're looking for a small moose, it seems like all the big ones show up.
It's been my experience that late in the rut, the bulls are a little slow coming to the call. I like to stay longer once I start calling, just to give them a chance to show up. We've spent a few hours here. I know there are moose in the area, but we're not getting any response. We decide to head back to the bike and check for sign. If nothing else, maybe we can find something we can target for tomorrow.
I think that one there is probably 10 points. Oh, I'd rather find a little smaller one anyway.
We check a few more areas. It's been raining steadily now, so we decide to head back to camp and call it a day.
On the way back, a young woodland caribou stag crossed in front of us. There's a good population of caribou in the area, with some tremendous stags. March and Milko have 4 caribou tags, but they go fast every year. This young guy wasn't bothered by our presence and continued feeding. Newfoundland is the only place in North America that you can hunt woodland caribou, so getting a tag comes at a premium. It's our second day. Conditions haven't really improved. It's still raining and windy, which is going to make things tough again. We climb a small ridge, which gives us some opportunity to glass the surrounding country. We didn't see any animals on the bogs below us, but Terry knows there's moose in this area. So because of the wind, we move around the ridge and try to get the wind in our favor and start calling again.
They're always usually around this ridge right behind us. I came this way, so the wind kind of blowing it over the lake. We're going to call and hopefully get them either up from the edge of the lake or down off that ridge. And we're out here, so that because the wind is blowing this way, hopefully they'll come in.
We're hunting old logging roads and cutovers. The trees are just high enough to give moose perfect cover, so they've got to come in close or we won't see them.
We finally get an answer from a bull, but he just doesn't show to give us a shot.
A couple of young bulls, I think, answered, but they didn't come. It's like they were afraid. We are getting pretty well bad at the rub, so usually a young one will come this time of year. We're gonna go look for some fresh sign. If I can see where there's a young bull, I'll try a quick call.
We've decided to hunt our way back to the lodge when Terry sees some moose in the distance.
You can see 2 or 3 moose. Yeah, they're only just down there.
Terry knows they're close to the edge of our hunting zone, but we're going to try to go get a closer look.
There's 4 moose, a big bull with 2 cows, and a young bull skirting around the outside. Unfortunately, they are just outside our boundary. I'm going to try to call them to us. The big bull has no interest. He has 2 cows, but the young bull heads our way. So let's hope we can get him within range.
He's the perfect size. This is exactly what I'm looking for. He's coming our way, but we just need him a little closer.
He came right to the water's edge and stopped, but finally just turned and headed back towards the big bull and cows. I tried every trick I know, but I couldn't get him back.
Back. That was too bad.
He had to come up over this.
No, if he had to, he was going to swim across.
Oh.
And if he had to get to this shore, he was in our area.
Gotcha.
So he was like 300 yards on the wrong side. That's it. That's hunting. That big bull was nice. Eh?
Yeah, there was a big one there.
Yeah, he had 18 or 20 points. He was a beauty. The big bull has gone up with a couple of cows.
When we got back to the lodge, I looked out the window, and the big bull and his cows were crossing the lake. It made a great end for the day. It's the third day of rain and fog, which, late in the rut, isn't making things easier. But that's hunting, and you make the best of what you're given.
That bull that we caught yesterday is just there on the ridge. There's more down here. There's roads going up through here, all 5 years that are growing.
We've been calling for a while, and finally a bull has answered. He's slowly making his way up the ridge. He's well within range, but he's just too big. I had decided before we came on this hunt that I was going to take a young bull. And as tempting as it is right now, I'm not going to change my mind.
With no other animals answering, we head back to camp for a late breakfast. And wouldn't you know it, the sky begins to clear.
My dog Miles was happy that we came back early. We know from experience we can't take him hunting because he barks whenever a moose shows up. The sun is out and I'm going to take full advantage. A little cook up on the beach and a cup of coffee. It's our last evening, and this time we're going in boat. Terry knows a couple of bogs around where we've been seeing the moose, and we're hoping that if we call from a different direction, we might get one to have a look. If anyone knows Newfoundland weather, it's not unusual that the clouds have moved back in again, but the conditions are pretty good. Terry has decided to use his voice to call tonight instead of the electronic caller. Just another attempt to change things up for the moose. Sure enough, after a few minutes, a young bull comes in for a look. I'm excited, but Terry's worried because the bull is acting nervous.
I know the bigger bull is in this area as well, and this young bull is definitely on guard. He's about 300 yards out now, so I hope we can get him a little closer.
I feel really comfortable taking a shot up to 150 yards, so he needs to come a little closer.
The wind has just come up, and it's not in our favor.
Before he gets within range, he catches our scent. Terry tries to bring him back. He hesitates, but it's over. We spend the next hour here, but he doesn't show again. We didn't harvest a moose, but I'm okay knowing that I didn't take an animal bigger than I wanted, and I didn't take a shot I wasn't comfortable with. There's always next time. Thanks to March & Milko Outfitters for giving us a great location to enjoy this hunt.